We're ready.
I guess just the decision to start Leighton, what'll went into that?
Yeah, no, Leighton's been throwing the ball extremely well. You look, especially over his last 5 starts. I mean, he had one hiccup, at Alabama, but other than that, attacking the strike zone with, 3 pitches. The other thing you think about, in these kind of environments is Leighton closed out a regional for us last year, also started a game. Just that experience of a guy getting you out there and getting you off to a good start. I think, all those things were things we were looking at.
How important was last year's super regional experience for this team heading into this regional this year?
Yeah, I think, especially the guys that were on the team last year, Kobe, Slade, Leighton, Colton Smith, Zach Harris, all those guys through. I mean, there's others as well, but I mean, Henry Hunter. I think it's just good we've got some guys who don't have any postseason experience that'll play tomorrow, Robbie Burnett, Zabo, those guys. And so they're able to draw on it, give the guys kind of what they're, going to expect. The crowd, just, the intensity. I think the other big thing is, as I've talked to a lot of teams about, the board's clean, right? I mean, just understanding that records don't matter, who you're playing doesn't matter. Everybody's going to come out and they've got a fresh start, so you're going to get everybody's best effort.
Getting back to Leighton, you mentioned he started that game against Army last year, and you don't get this time. You don't have many. Don't you always have a lot of guys who have had that kind of a starting experience in the game? We just kind of elaborate on that just a little bit more, and what you saw from that game and how that can. I know it's a year ago, but just the way he kind of handled himself.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and it's kind of crazy. He actually didn't throw the ball extremely well in that game, and we got him. But then he came back and closed out the game against Georgia Tech, and then we started him against NC State in the Super Regional, and you look at it. I thought he settled down. I thought, Leighton's such a competitor that that game against Army, I think he was just trying to be too good, right? And it got with him, and so now I think he understands the process. And like I say, man, anytime you can get a guy to go out with some experience and just have that calm, presence out there, I think it does great things for the rest of the team as well.
I've asked you about Robbie for the past couple of weeks.
Sure.
How was he for this week?
Yeah, Robbie's going to be a full go. Feel great. Golly, I mean, tip your hat to our training staff. Zach Adams has done a phenomenal job getting him ready, him and Derek Groomer, on the strength side of things. Robbie's VPs have been great. We've tried to get Robbie in front of live pitching every day since Saturday. He swung the bat well. He's run around out there and played defense. Yeah, you'll see Robbie full strength tomorrow.
And I know you guys don't change your approach this deep in the season as far as the hitters go. You talk about feeding the trees and all that. That being said, you get these kind of games, a team like that one that's coming in behind you right now. I mean, to be able to manufacture runs, scoring, you've got runs at third base and less than one out. I mean, how important is that going to be?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd be lying to you. We put in a little extra time on bunting this week than we normally do. And then you put a little more emphasis on situational hitting. Hey, runner at third, less than 2. Hey, we got to move the baseball to the outfield or hit it to the middle of the field. We've done a little more of that than you normally do. But yeah, no, I mean, our approach is still get in that box and get off your A swing and try to elevate the baseball and send it out there.
And I know, again, that's another question you've been asked before, but just the depth of this pitching staff and how going into this year regional, I would suspect you probably feel a little bit better about that aspect of it you did this time a year ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt like last year we probably were relying on about 5 to 6 guys. Now, you've got a 27-man roster. Every pitcher we'll put on that roster can come into a game and you feel good about them. Not only coming into a game, but coming into a game and giving you quality innings and quality pitches and has a chance to put zeros up.
Now, it's been a long time between the game against Oklahoma and the SEC and the game tomorrow. Did all those pitchers ever get in the work they needed?
Yeah, we had a really good practice on Saturday night. We went Saturday night. Every pitcher who didn't throw in the SEC tournament threw Saturday night live here against our hitters, which made it really good, right? I mean, it was good for Robbie. It was good for Zabo to continue to see live pitching, with them being, down. But no, all of our pitchers have gotten in as much work as they need to.
You guys have made no bones this year about that Omaha is the goal. I mean, you've always instilled that belief in your team that they can do whatever it wants. But sometimes can that add pressure to a team, or is it something you want them to keep thinking that way?
Yeah, I don't think it's pressure, right? Pressure is just something you apply to yourself, and it creates illusions. I think I think yes, that's one of our goals, right? Just like being a national seed was a goal. You wanna have a chance to play at home. Doesn't guarantee you're gonna get to them all. Doesn't guarantee you're gonna win regionals or super regionals. It's just something that lets you know that yeah, we're moving in the right direction. It still comes back to playing clean baseball, right? Not giving another team freebies, not chasing, not doing things on the base pass that give them free outs. So when you look at it, it's like yes, those are your goals, but then your practice and your preparation should lead to hopefully you achieving those goals, right? So at the end of the day, yes, but it's still going to come down to us playing clean baseball.
Talking about Army, gave you a really good game that first one last year. That kind of, for the guys who were here on the team last year, kind of a lesson to not overlook a team like Binghamton.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like I've told our guys, I mean, you look at them, they're going to throw a power arm at us tomorrow. The young man's going to be 92, 94 with a good slider. They got 70 homers, and they don't play in a small ballpark. So it's not like they've just been playing at a small ballpark where the wind's blowing out. I mean, they've got real power. They play a really solid defense. They play on turf as well. So I've told our guys just the opposite. Like, hey, it's Friday night in our league. It's a Friday night SEC game tomorrow night. I know it's during the day, but you guys know what I mean by that. So it is Friday night in our league. You're going to get their best effort, and you're going to get an arm. And you guys know this. His stuff's probably going to tick up for an inning or two just because he's got more adrenaline than he normally has.
Time for one more.
How do you envision using Colton and JT this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we'll use it. After I've told everybody, who's hot for tomorrow. Everybody, minus Leighton Finley, right? Mm-hmm. You got to win game one, and then if you're fortunate enough to do that, you move to game two, and everybody's hot. So if you start trying to map out starting pitching in a regional, you can get yourself in trouble, not using your best guys. So we're gonna win each game, then we'll move on. I think that's the strength of something that helps us. We have depth in our pitching staff, so I don't worry about who's starting as much. We're just gonna attack and win the game, try to win the game we're playing, and then we'll see who we got available the next day.
Thank you.